So I went to New York City to hang out with some friends and Sony for the launch of the new Sony Alpha 1 Mark II. Now, funny enough, I was not informed about this brand new camera. Like usually I'm under embargo of whenever Sony products come out. Not this time, so it was almost kind of refreshing not knowing what the product was going to be about. And so I got to shoot with the Alpha 1 Mark II at Creative Space. There was this really cool Viking set where there was snow falling. And so I shot some photos and videos up close, but then I went further back into the room to use a bigger lens, the Sony 300mm, and I wanted to test out the stabilization. And so I shot all handheld and it looked pretty amazing. Stabilization, not bad at all. 8.5 stops of stabilization. There were little jitters here and there. I mean, that was kind of expected. I was really far back and the lens is kind of heavy, but I was holding that entire setup the entire time. Like this is handheld footage shot with a 300mm lens. And this is a disturbing looking fox. So obviously the A1 Mark II has the AI chip from the A7R5, the A9 Mark III. And I love using the AI features like framing stabilizer and auto framing, but framing stabilizer is not available on the A1 Mark II if you're using the wrong lens. You gotta have like the right lens to support that. So yeah, there's that. I didn't know that. So at first, honestly, I wasn't really all that excited about the Alpha 1 Mark II, mainly because I've been really happy with my Sony FX3 and my A7C Mark II. And also, I was a little disappointed knowing that there wasn't global shutter in the camera, like from the Alpha 9 Mark III, because you figured a flagship camera should have flagship features. But aside from all that, on paper, the Alpha 1 Mark II is very impressive, especially for hybrid shooters. I mean, you're talking 8K video, 4K 120, no crop, 51 megapixel photo shooting at 30 frames per second, no blackout. You got the AI processor from the A9 and the A7R Mark V, and it's got a crazy 8.5 stops of stabilization. So if you look at it in terms of that, yeah, the Alpha 1 Mark II is definitely a flagship camera, but with the A9 Mark III having the global shutter, maybe both the Alpha 1 Mark II and the A9 Mark III are both co-flagship cameras? I don't know. But I wanted to test out the camera a little bit more, and so I asked Sony if I could take the camera out in New York and just explore the city and hang out with my friends and shoot some awesome content. Nomadic, 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 not nomadic. And so I rounded up all my buddies, and as full-grown adults, the first place that we wanted to explore was the Ghostbusters building. I didn't think this was gonna be a bucket list item of mine, but check it out. It's the Ghostbusters building. Lee, say it.
Who are you gonna call?
Okay, so that was just a single shooting a drive speed. I'm gonna switch it up to the high frame rate, shooting at 30 frames per second. All right, here we go. Jeez.
So we got a 24 to 70 and a 16 to 35, but both set to 24, so I can do direct-ish.
Kind of puts us to shame, doesn't he?
What's this thing?
Oh, nothing. Don't look at me, don't look at me. All right, so now we've attached the Sony 70 to 200 G Master Mark II. And let's see what a long lens looks like. Ooh, actually, here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. This camera has 8.5 stops of IBIS, so I'm just gonna record Chris for a bit at 200.
That will utilize it more because it has OSS going to the lens too.
Correct, yeah. But I would use it like this for sure if I wanted steady shots without a tripod. And it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm moving a little bit, but I don't see like jitters or shakes. So now we are using active stabilization. And that should crop in on the image a little bit more and stabilize the shot even more.
Just trying to tap on the camera.
And I'm gonna shake it a little bit. Okay, if I shake it, you see the camera trying to correct itself. All right, now let's go to dynamic. Okay, so now we're using dynamic active stabilization. And that is steady. Very steady. I'm holding it at 200 millimeters. I'm shaking a little bit because I'm tired. So let's go ahead and shake the whole camera setup.
These guys.
Yeah, not bad.
There we go.
Now I can't see you. Yeah, stay back there again. I'm just going to shake the camera for a bit. Okay, so now I'm shaking the camera, and with dynamic active stabilization on, it doesn't look like there's any shakes at all. That's pretty impressive. All right, gotta capture Benj. And there's Lee. It's got a Hasselblad. Now we're talking. Sun's coming out to play. Let's do this. What?
Selfie stick is like a $10,000 selfie stick.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna pull out another camera and vlog with it. Like, it's right there. That's my wide vlog camera.
That's crazy.
It's easy, dude.
Dude,
It's so easy.
Do you guys want to see this selfie stick? Look at this.
This is $6,000 selfie stick. Well, maybe more because
it's
of the
probably
lens.
more than that.
8,000 maybe.
Here, hold on. Let me put it back on your tripod. Yeah, it gets you a great shot.
Isn't that cool?
And if you want to extend it out to, this one doesn't extend. Never mind. All right.
Go to 300.
Hey, people have their ways of filming nowadays. This is mine. We then ate some pizzas, explored the city a little bit more, ate some more pizzas, but my goal was to go to the Brooklyn Bridge because I have never walked across the bridge and I've always wanted to. And the shots that I got on the bridge impressed me so much that I just fell in love with the Alpha 1 Mark II. All right, so here are my first impressions of the Alpha 1 Mark II. I actually loved it way more than I thought I would, which is crazy because I was totally happy with my Sony FX3 and my A7C Mark II. But I found the Alpha 1 Mark II to be the most versatile camera that I've ever used because I was able to shoot high resolution photos and video equally well without any compromise. Like, you know, with some Sony cameras like the A7R5, like that's a high resolution camera, but the compromise is that when you're shooting 4K 60, there's a crop. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, Sony has a handful of great cameras with some compromises, but the Alpha 1 Mark II doesn't. And I know there's no global shutter in the Alpha 1 Mark II, which has kind of made people a little bit disappointed because it's meant to be a flagship camera. I get it, I totally do, and I don't know the answer myself, but perhaps we've also been spoiled by all the cool features that Sony has implemented in their cameras in the past few years, that when we see those features in one single camera body, we're not all that impressed because we're kind of used to it. But in actuality, having all those features in one single camera body does make the Alpha 1 Mark II such a versatile camera to use that I really feel is perfect for hybrid shooters like myself. Am I gonna get it? I don't know. I feel like I need to play with it more to give a proper assessment, but as far as first impressions, the Alpha 1 Mark II kicks butt.